Welcome again, Leo. It's September 2025, and this month is really, well, like every month, it's about karma, but this month it's particularly karmic because of two eclipses that are taking place on the nodal axis. These nodes are, of course, very intimately linked with your karma. The difficulty we have this month here, and if you just keep your eye on the movement of the moon here, it is going to make contact with your future karma point, what we call Rahu, on the 8th of September. And it's taking place here in this 8th sector, 8th house. Saturn, on the very first day of the month, does a retrograde dance, dancing madly backwards, as Captain Beyond said in the mid-70s, into your 8th house. This is also a very significant karmic planet. Now, ordinarily, the different houses are more visible, are more sort of on a conscious level. This 8th house is more unconscious habits, patterns, activities, addictions, traumas. These are the karmic knots, as I call them. There it is on the 8th. And then it makes a really sullen conjunction with retrograde Saturn in that 8th house. You can't often consciously get at what it is underneath there, but I tend to disagree with many of the Western astrologers who say that, yeah, the planets impel, but they don't necessarily compel. Well, yeah, maybe in some of these other areas, but when we're looking at the 4-8-12 trine, in your case, the 4-8-12 trine are the water signs: 4th house Scorpio, 8th house Pisces, 12th house Cancer. Then this is the emotional element, bringing up a lot of stuff there, and you have to address this, Leo. You can't just sort of gloss over it with your beautiful shining solar rays, which is your trademark. Sometimes you've got to go down deep beneath the surface, and even if you can't get at it, you've got to knock on the door and let it come to you. Let those traumas, those psychological imperfections that have undermined your relationships, your circumstances throughout life, let them open the door and come out. You need to free yourself from these sorts of issues this month and in the coming months, because the eclipses tend to carry their energy forward for some period of time. The solar eclipse is in a more open area, and you'll see here on the 22nd the combined influence of the south node, your past karma, the sun. Venus is going to enter into this space as well. It's your career planet. So what may happen here, and I've seen it a lot in many charts, is that just as you're knocking on the door to set forth these subconscious issues, you distract yourself. It could be through money. It could be, see, there's the eclipse on the 28th, along with Venus, the career planet, shifting the attention away from the work that has to be done on the inner level to these outer manifestations such as money, prestige, fame, Gucci bag, all of that nonsense that is really ultimately not going to make you happy. You know, when you look at a lot of those famous, wealthy, supposedly, amazing human beings, many of them kill themselves, right? The Gucci bag didn't save their life. So what I'm saying is of importance. You know, that new moon here in the eclipse phase has a lot to say about changing your value systems, changing the way you view money, and also, to a large extent, changing the way you work. Changing the work itself perhaps is not out of the question either. There could be some good fortune here. The danger that I see here for you, Leo, is that some grand opportunity arrives just as you're tapping into this subconscious layer of your being, and that would be a shame. What I'm asking from you is just more of a balance. That can happen. The ingress takes place here in Libra, in the third house, which is your mind. So that is what's required here. I'm not saying to you that you shouldn't take on any new opportunity that brings you increased income, but you've got to balance that against all this deeper eighth house stuff. Mars also is in the fourth house, Jupiter in the 12th house. So these sets of planets, remember, 4, 8, 12. This is the spiritual dimension of your chart, and so it is showing us when you get a Mars-Jupiter combination, there is an excess. So what may happen here is that if the door is open, you need to brace yourself and be prepared to digest a lot of your past and a lot of what went on in for example, your childhood that has been impacting your relationships. And no doubt, just in finishing up quickly, Pluto retrograde in your zone of marriage will also be hammering at you on this. And so it's essential, absolutely key to dealing with this eighth house, using this eclipse energy to break through into new ground and to become the butterfly emerging from the cocoon, if I could put it that way. Pop on over to astrology.com.au. We've got the monthly text forecast there, dailies, weeklies, yearlies, all of that sort of stuff. A lot of free material for you if you want to avail yourself of that. Please subscribe. It helps the channel. It helps me get the message out there. And do come back next month. I'll be here, ready, willing and able to share your October forecast as well. Bye-bye for now.